When it comes to culinary trends that have swept the globe, few dishes have captured the imagination and appetite of food lovers quite like sushi and sashimi. The alluring presentation of glistening slices of raw fish, artfully arranged and paired with delicate sauces, has become synonymous with elegance and adventure in dining. But beneath the shimmering surface lies a hidden danger, one that most people never think about as they reach for their next spicy tuna roll or salmon nigiri. Raw fish, however delicious it may be, can harbour unseen threats in the form of parasitic worms, creatures that, if ingested, can take up residence in your stomach, sometimes with alarming consequences. The rise in popularity of raw fish dishes over the past decades has been nothing short of meteoric. From upscale restaurants to convenient grab-and-go sushi counters, the availability of raw fish has never been higher. With this growing trend comes an increased risk that many diners may not fully appreciate. Central to this risk are several species of parasitic worms that can infect fish and, through them, the humans who consume them. One of the most notorious of these is Anisakis simplex, a type of nematode or roundworm. Anisakis is found in a variety of marine fish, and it has a remarkable ability to survive, even after the fish is caught and processed for consumption. When raw or undercooked fish infected with Anisakis is eaten, the larvae can burrow into the wall of the human stomach or intestines, causing a condition known as anisakiasis. The symptoms of anisakiasis can be as distressing as they are sudden. Within hours of eating contaminated fish, individuals may experience severe abdominal pain, nausea, and vomiting. In some cases, the immune system reacts so strongly to the invading parasite that an allergic response is triggered, leading to rashes or, in rare cases, life-threatening anaphylaxis. For those affected, the experience can be frightening. Imagine enjoying a meal only to be struck down shortly afterward by intense, unexplained pain. But Anisakis is not the only worm lurking in the world of raw fish. Another significant threat comes from Diphyllobothrium nihonkaiense, a species of tapeworm. This parasite has made headlines in recent years for its ability to infect salmon, a fish beloved in sushi bars and kitchens across the globe. In 2016, a study brought to public attention the fact that salmon in the United States could carry this Japanese tapeworm, raising new concerns about the safety of eating raw salmon, once considered a relatively low-risk choice compared to other fish. The consequences of ingesting Diphyllobothrium larvae can be dramatic. Tapeworms have the uncanny ability to grow inside the human digestive tract, sometimes reaching astonishing lengths. In an incident that stunned both the medical community and the public, a sushi enthusiast in California pulled a 5-foot-long tapeworm from his own body after experiencing months of unexplained abdominal discomfort. This real-life horror story serves as a stark reminder that the risks are not merely theoretical. Beyond worms, raw fish can also be contaminated with harmful bacteria, such as those from the Vibrio family. Vibrio parahemolyticus and Vibrio vulnificus are two species known to cause vibriosis, an illness characterized by gastrointestinal distress, diarrhea, cramping, nausea, vomiting, fever, and chills. While healthy individuals may recover with supportive care, those with compromised immune systems, chronic liver disease, or other underlying health conditions can experience far more severe outcomes, including life-threatening bloodstream infections. In response to these very real dangers, public health agencies have issued clear and specific recommendations. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, advises against consuming raw or undercooked fish or squid altogether, especially for those at higher risk of complications. The US Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, has also set forth guidelines to help minimize the risk of parasitic infection. According to their recommendations, fish intended for raw consumption should be frozen at 4 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius for a minimum of 7 days, or at 31 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius for at least 15 hours. This process is designed to kill any parasites present in the flesh. However, even these measures are not foolproof. Not all fish can be effectively treated in this way, and improper handling or storage can allow parasites to survive. Some types of fish, such as most varieties of tuna and certain farmed fish raised in tightly controlled environments, are considered less likely to harbour parasites. Nonetheless, the safest approach, according to experts, remains to avoid consuming raw or undercooked fish entirely. The science behind these recommendations is grounded in decades of research and, more recently, in a growing number of documented cases. The global supply chain for seafood is complex, and fish can travel thousands of miles from ocean to plate, passing through multiple hands and environments. At every step, there are opportunities for contamination. Freezing, while effective against many parasites, does little to neutralize bacteria like Vibrio, which can thrive in the warm, brackish waters where many shellfish and finfish are harvested. Recent incidents underscore just how real these risks are. In addition to the tapeworm case that made headlines, researchers have found evidence that salmon sold in American markets may carry the Diphyllobothrium tapeworm, previously thought to be confined to fish from Asia. This means that the threat is not limited to exotic locales or rare species, but extends to everyday favourites found in supermarkets and sushi shops alike. Why then do these parasites persist? And how do they end up in our food? The answer lies in the complex life cycles of these organisms. Take Anisakis, for example. Its life begins in the ocean, where eggs are released by adult worms and consumed by tiny crustaceans. Fish eat the infected crustaceans, and the larvae migrate into the muscle tissue of the fish, where they can remain viable for years. When humans eat the raw or undercooked flesh of these fish, they become accidental hosts, and the cycle continues. Tapeworms follow a similar but distinct path. Their eggs are released into fresh water by infected hosts and consumed by small aquatic organisms, which are then eaten by fish. Larvae embed themselves in the fish's muscles, and the cycle is completed when a mammal, be it a bear, a fox, or a human, eats the fish raw. Inside the new host, the tapeworm can grow to impressive lengths, sometimes remaining undetected for months or even years. The symptoms of infection can vary widely depending on the parasite involved. Anisakiasis can mimic other gastrointestinal conditions, making diagnosis tricky. Symptoms can include sudden, severe abdominal pain, tenderness, nausea, vomiting, and sometimes low-grade fever. In rare cases, the immune response can be so intense that it triggers allergic reactions, including skin rashes, hives, or even anaphylaxis, a rapid, life-threatening reaction that requires immediate medical attention. Tapeworm infections, on the other hand, may go unnoticed for long periods. When symptoms do appear, they can include abdominal discomfort, unexplained weight loss, fatigue, and, occasionally, the passage of visible segments of the worm in the stool. While the idea of a worm growing inside one's body may sound like the stuff of nightmares, the reality is that these infections can cause real harm, robbing the body of essential nutrients and, in rare cases, leading to serious complications such as intestinal blockages or malnutrition. What can consumers do to protect themselves? Awareness is the first line of defense. When dining out or preparing raw fish at home, it's important to ask about sourcing and handling practices. Restaurants and fish markets that serve raw fish should be able to provide information about how their products are processed and whether they have been frozen according to FDA guidelines. For those who are immunocompromised, pregnant, elderly, or very young, the risks are higher, and the safest option is to avoid raw fish entirely. Cooking fish to an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius is the most reliable way to kill parasites and bacteria. For those who simply can't resist the allure of sushi, choosing reputable establishments and favoring lower-risk fish, like commercially frozen tuna or farmed salmon, can help reduce, but not eliminate, the risk. As the love affair with raw fish continues to grow around the world, public health officials urge caution and common sense. The beauty and flavor of raw seafood can be enjoyed safely when proper precautions are taken, but the invisible dangers, parasitic worms and harmful bacteria, should never be underestimated. In the end, the choice is yours. With knowledge and vigilance, you can savor the delights of the sea without unwelcome guests making themselves at home in your stomach. Stay informed, be mindful of the risks, and remember, sometimes the most delicious meals come with hidden surprises best left uneaten.